Coming up next on Jonathan Bird's Blue World, a look at the deadliest snakes in the world, sea snakes.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Bird, and welcome to my world. The sea snake is an animal surrounded in mystery, known for its incredibly powerful venom, but not much else. Just how dangerous are these marine reptiles? I've traveled to Queensland, Australia on a quest to learn about sea snakes.
Here on Australia's Great Barrier Reef, sea snakes are fairly common. Let's go see if we can find one.
I hit the water, grab my camera, and head towards the sea floor. Today I'm diving a little seamount called a coral bommy. It's a mini mountain of coral sticking up from the bottom, but not quite reaching the surface. Near the top of the bommy, thousands of small fish feed on plankton passing by in the current, but they stay close to the reef because they're being watched by a big school of jacks who are on the prowl for food themselves. The bommy is covered in healthy coral that provides lots of nooks and crannies for the fish to hide if they need cover. On the other side of the bommy, a large school of snappers are also looking for something to eat and keeping a safe distance from the jacks. As I swim along at the base of the bommy, I'm keeping my eyes open for a snake-like animal. The coral looks healthy, and a spine-cheek anemone fish gives me a quick glance from the safety of her host anemone. But I keep scanning the bottom, and at last I've found my quarry, an olive sea snake, the most common species around the Great Barrier Reef. It's swimming along the bottom doing the same thing everything else is doing, looking for food. The sea snake is closely related to a land snake, except it's adapted for life underwater. When a sea snake flicks its tongue, it's getting rid of excess salt secreted by special glands in its mouth. Sea snakes live exclusively in the ocean, but since they're reptiles, their kidneys can't deal with too much excess salt in their blood. A sea snake gets around with a flattened section of tail that looks like an oar and serves as a fin. It looks just like an eel when it swims, undulating its body and getting propulsion from that flattened tail. Although sea snakes prefer to eat eels, shrimps, and fish, these snappers aren't at all afraid of the sea snake because they're way too big for the sea snake to bite. This snake is heading for the surface to grab a breath of air. A sea snake, just like a land snake, has lungs and must breathe air to survive. It can hold its breath up to 3 hours during a dive. Recent research has shown that some sea snakes can also absorb a little bit of oxygen directly from the water through their skin, which is probably why a breath can last so long. After spending a minute at the surface breathing, the sea snake comes back down to the bottom. It's poking around looking for holes where it might corner a fish or shrimp. It sticks its head into the holes, hoping to get lucky. The sea snake is most closely related to the cobra on land, and its venom is quite similar to cobra venom, but considerably more potent. If it manages to grab a fish, the venom will kill it in seconds. Sea snakes often take a rest on the bottom, sleeping as they hold their breath. I use the opportunity to sneak up on one. In spite of their fearsome venom, sea snakes are very timid and not particularly aggressive. Although this one is obviously not thrilled about being picked up, it doesn't try to bite me. And when I let it go, it just swims away. I find another one and I can't resist the opportunity to show the flattened tail section to the camera. Swim, be free!
Although the sea snake is one of the most venomous animals in the world, you're not very likely to be bitten by one.
There are 62 known species of sea snakes, and they live all around the tropical Indo-Pacific. I found this banded sea snake in the Philippines. They like nice, warm, tropical water because they're cold-blooded like all reptiles. If the water gets too cold, they get lethargic. So no matter what you might think of snakes, sea snakes are timid and shy animals that represent almost no threat at all to people, even though they produce some of the most powerful venom in the world.